Hello, this is reddit.com/r/kde, the KDE community's Reddit, also nicknamed Credit with an uppercase K. This is used mostly by users of KDE software to ask for support, such as this one. You can sort posts by new. This is what I usually use in order to have a sorting by date descending. Let's see what the problem is here. So it's a user of KDE Plasma. It's using Manjaro, has also used other Linux operating systems, has used Hyperland, which is probably a Wayland compositor, so similar to a window manager for X11. Wants dynamic tiling, workspaces. Here's Essential. Has tried Fedora's hopefully 42 KDE. There are some issues with KDE Connect. When I see KDE Connect, when I see tiling, it's mostly a post that I cannot contribute to. I do not use KDE Connect. I have no clue how to make KDE Plasma use tiling. So tiling would be using, I know, your W key on your keyboard to have the window use a third of the screen. When you create a new window, it's automatically going to use the other half of the screen. And most of these actions are not going to be performed with the mouse, but either automatically by the window manager, the Wayland compositor, the tiling, or using the keyboard. So I cannot really help. I'm going to go next. Academy ES, end of 10. So between the posts inside r/KDE, which are from users of KDE software that are asking for user support, there might be posts from the KDE promo team, such as this one, or screen recordings, YouTube videos from me, for instance. So this is content aimed at the larger KDE community, not a request for user help. Some of the content that's presented by the KDE promo team in r/KDE is also available in planet.kde.org. In here. This is an aggregator of RSS Atom blog feeds from various contributors to the KDE community. Okay. The interaction that I could make with this thing is to upvote it. Let's do that. Okay, next up, I am new to KDE Live and I have an issue. So user support about the KDE software KDE Live, which is a video editor. I'm using KDE Live for the first time and I have a minor issue, and that is that the image of the video is not visible. I can normally hear sounds though. I have never used KDE Live. I totally cannot help. Okay, next up, wallpaper info widget. What is this? So this is people that are not necessarily part of the KDE community, but they're using KDE technology, they're creating their own projects, scratching their own itches, and they're presenting the result of their labor. This is what I did. They usually get a ton of votes, upvotes, but then they get at most, I don't know, 2 users. People just look at the post, might upvote it, and then that's it. Because often the result of the work is some source code that you need to compile. You don't really know how to. It might not be that interesting for you, so it requires a ton of user effort to go all the way through download, Git cloning the Git repository, building, installing. You might mess up your system. Some dependency might not be installed on your system, etc. And by the fact that nobody said I tried, but I could not, there was an issue, you know. You can see how the number of users of the software increases extremely slowly, even if the work was promoted in a post in r/kd. Another post from the promo team, another member of the promo team, KDE promo team. Grab your own Academy t-shirt to wear in Berlin. So this is probably something for the participants of the future Academy reunion in Berlin of the KDE community. Another question for KDE Connect. Among the most frequently asked support for software, KDE softwares are KDE Connect, the hardware Steam deck. So people that are actually using KDE software but are not the traditional audience of Linux desktop. So they just bought a portable gaming console, that's Steam Deck, and that just happens to have a desktop mode that's actually KDE Plasma. So they figured this is one of the places where they can ask for help in r/KDE. And then for KDE Connect, the same thing. They figured that they have a macOS computer and a Android phone, and this is one of the ways that you would use to control your laptop from your mobile phone or to transfer text or images easier without using a connection cable. But then helping in the case of KDE Connect often involves very interesting operating systems, Mac OS, very fringe Linux operating systems, etc. And who knows how the firewall is set up there, or if they use KDE Connect on Linux, often they don't use KDE Plasma 6. If it were for me, I would add the possibility of adding labels to the posts, and I would label this post with the lowercase string KDE Connect, and that would appear immediately when you look at, like in here, like this question thing, such that you could easily discard all of the posts that are about KDE Connect. In my case, I don't use it. I have no clue what it can do. So I totally cannot contribute, and I would like to even not see them at all when I look at r/KDE. Everything works except KDE Connect. Firewall, firewall, and more firewall. I don't know firewall D. I have UFW. Why did you enable UFW? Private trusty Wi-Fi connection. I have no clue. Next. Setting audio device to off completely removes it. How the hell do I get it back? So this is the problem that people use their worst language possible. They forgot how to capitalize things. And then once you create the post, you cannot, from what I know, edit the title of the post. So this word is totally not called for. This is totally not a way to ask help. So, hey, help me, but I'm going to curse at you. Like, why would we bother to help you if this is the way you're asking for help, you know? Solution was to look a few inches down from where I would normally see audio devices. I'm using SteamOS KDE Plasma. So this might be related to the Steam Deck. I don't see the word Steam Deck anywhere, but maybe. So if no solution would have been found, I would probably ask in here, are you using Steam Deck? Because that's an important thing to know. KDE Wallet, KDE Wallet. KDE Wallet is, I know, in top 10 support call generator. I have installed i3. Why? Why did you install i3, which is, I know, a X11 window manager, alongside KDE Plasma KWin? All session in browser was removed. So I have to sign in again. I have installed KDE Wallet in i3. So if you're not using KDE Plasma and you want to use K Wallet, who knows? How can we help you? Should we install i3? But we have no clue how you installed it. What is the list of packages that you installed? The combinatorial explosion that's possible by just installing random packages from your Linux operating system is incredible. How can you provide support in cases like this? You should have said, there's some problem with my installation, but then I have booted inside the live CD of Cache Linux OS with KDE. And then in live CD mode in there, I did this and that, I could reproduce the issue. Because at least what's inside a live CD, an ISO file, is fixed and people can actually boot that thing on a virtual machine. And most issues related to K-Wallet are actually issues related to I did not install KDE Plasma by installing the operating system and then letting the operating system install everything during the installation, but I have mixed some packages from here and there, and look now, my PAM is not configured correctly. That's the first type of issues. So I have installed various KDE software in various interesting ways. And the second is they're logging into KDE Plasma without providing a password, which is a feature that is available in many Linux operating system installers. Next up, taskbar notifications, how to. In the past 2 years ago, when I received a notification in Signal App, this could be KDE Plasma 5 versus KDE Plasma 6. I could see its icon flashing in orange. Now this feature is gone, simply not working. The user is not saying the name of the operating system or the version. So I have a canned response here, which I'm going to actually use. Yes, when you ask for help, at minimum minimorum, you should state what is your operating system, what's the version of your operating system, and also do provide a screenshot. I'm not sure exactly what you could screenshot in here, but still, we would find out what taskbar notifications are. Are these the system tray, or are these the icons only task manager? Who knows? So what is your Linux operating system name and version? How can I adjust icon sizes in system settings? What is that? Default icon sizes in KDE. There has been a setting before. Icons. Okay, but what are you trying to do? Folder list in Kmail. Why would you set inside the system settings the screen or the icon sizes for the files inside the list view inside the Dolphin file manager, so the thumbnails? I have very bad eyesight and cannot identify icons at the same scaling as fonts. The intended global scaling either leaves me with very huge fonts. Am I stuck with icons that are hard to decipher? Yeah, but what do you mean by icons? Might be the icons in the toolbar, like these icons, the icons in the icons only task manager, the icons in the system tray, the icons in the start menu. Which icons? Okay, so that was an accessibility request, accessibility feature request. So yeah, I would totally like to have a label in here saying accessibility feature request. Is there any modern KDE application to edit PDFs? Yes, there are. Yeah, so Carp is one of the newer software. Let's see if it was released. It's about rearranging pages in PDFs. Append PDF files, merge them. Yeah, so more about taking pages from different PDF files and rearranging them. Still in development, hasn't been released yet. Written in the new technology, so QML, Kirigami, QQC2. Does support Android, or maybe the Android application was not released yet, but there's certainly is work being performed in order to support Android. Okay. What's your I should have found this sooner? I don't know. Open a recently used file by right-clicking an app's taskbar icon to select from the last 5 files. So I don't use recently opened files, recently installed apps, recently nothing. I don't need those. KDE Plasma has reached a stage of maturity. Wow. Plasma 6.4 is about to be released this week. I have tested each of the betas. Lots of small, thoughtful improvements. I'm not sure. This is probably applauding the effort of the people that contribute to the KDE software. So if that's the intention, a big thank you to the KDE community, and that's great. But who knows what's the actual intention behind this thing. How to get gaps without tiling. Just migrated from GNOME. Stooped working. And I found replacements, so this seems like somebody is using the mobile phone to navigate r/KDE, which is interesting, but I would not do it. There's desktop computers and laptops for using websites. Non-tiling window gaps. I was wondering if everybody, okay, and the person doesn't provide a screenshot, so we'll need to guess what GNOME non-tiling window gaps are. Let's ask. Please provide a screenshot, of course. Why not? Why would you ask for support without providing a screenshot or a mock-up or something that you make up in an image editor? Start GIMP, take a screenshot and move things around until they look similar to what you actually want. Trying to make note-taking more fun led to my first rise. Wow. Another type of posts. This is, hey, I have changed my fonts, my color schemes, my cute widgets themes, my GTK themes, and this is how my screenshot looks right now. And of course, if you have some Japanese images there, then Japanese cartoon things, then maybe you get extra points. And this is a virus, right? You want to get as many people as possible to click on the upvote button. PIP shortcut question. Firefox Zen. I do not know what this thing is. PIP window does not stay above Windows. I have just tested yesterday and it does. Is only on one virtual desktop. I don't use virtual desktops. So I totally cannot help here. How do I delete this keyboard on screen at startup? Lubuntu. I haven't ever used Lubuntu. Doesn't specify the version of Lubuntu. It has the possibility to use KDE, so I tried KDE twice. How could Lubuntu provide KDE? I have reinstalled KDE system settings inside Lubuntu. If you want Lubuntu, install Lubuntu. It already has a desktop pre-configured. Use that. If you want to try out Ubuntu 25.04 in a live CD, do that. Don't install random Linux binary packages and then ask for support. Do the correct thing. Try with a very vanilla installation of an operating system, something that people easily can reproduce in virtual machines, and then go from there. It's always going to be a divide et impera thing. Like I tried in Lubuntu to install some random packages, something wasn't wrong or correct, but then I tried in Kubuntu 25.04 in live CD mode in a virtual machine, everything works correctly. So where's the actual difference? What packages do I still need to install? Which packages should I remove? Like the ones for Qt theming, Qt or Qt 6. Maybe there's different files in my home directory, different configurations. Alternative to get search working in Dolphin. Yeah, this sometimes appears. People either have some issues with Baloo or the search index technology in KDE. Either it stops working for a while, stops updating for a while, takes too much random access memory, and then OM kills it. Or it provides the results that you would not expect, in the sense that you have just edited a file, you're searching for the contents of that file and doesn't retrieve that file because the index is too old, or because the directory accepted from indexing, or because you're not indexing the contents of files, just the title of files, so the file names. All sorts of issues. I have never used indexes, search indexes like slocate, locate, anything else. I'm just using applications that know how to search the hard disk, similar to how find at the command line would do, like read all of the files and find what's needed in there. In Windows, I use Total Commander with the search alt F7. In Linux, I use Crusader, which is doing Control S. This is the search. I want to search for all of the markdown files. Let's do that. And it works, and it's extremely fast because I use NVMe, and it's extremely correct. I can't find issues here. It handles hard links and symlinks correctly. It searches in all of the files. It finds them if they have the correct permissions, users, etc. I can stop the search. So I see zero advantages to using search index technology that might not provide me all of the results that I'm looking for. When I search inside of the directory, I need to know the answer to the question, is in this directory anywhere in recursively a file with name like this or with content like this? And when I search for content, I probably also use Visual Studio Code. Control Shift F. Let's include just the markdown files. And we're going to search for PNGs with a dot. And there's F4. I'm not sure what's happening here, yes. To go to the next result. On Windows, searching inside files is a bit trickier because that's that native file text encoding, which is called UCS to UTF-16 little endian, so Windows style UTF-16 little endian, where you will have the letter T, then a 0, then E, then a 0, then S, and a 0. So this is the way the word test is stored in a plaintext file. But Total Commander can handle those. I'm so confused. What exactly is new about picture-in-picture? I've been using this in Firefox for years. Picture-in-picture seems to be something that just worked. Yeah, I have no clue what picture-in-picture provides. Something related to Wayland. I have never used Wayland. I'm always using the X11 KDE Plasma session. In here, either randomly or at some predefined point, the monitor or the GPU or the display adapter, something starts glitching out. And it continues glitching forever. In this case, immediately after waking up the computer, I do get the issues like this. And they can easily be resolved in my case because I'm using a desktop computer and a monitor. I just stop the monitor and start it again. There's a button for that on the monitor. So this would be a hardware issue, but I'm not sure exactly if the GPU or if the monitor. In this case, it's actually a laptop that's causing the issue. How to make the application launcher auto hide? What is that? Once I launch the application launcher, I search for the application I want to launch it, and it launches the application but does not auto-close the application launcher. What do you mean? Click and it does close the start menu. Who knows what operating system we're talking about here? I am new to KDE. How did you install your operating system? Whoa, it was the pinned button, this thing. Great. Yeah, and then some people ask, how can I make the start menu smaller? And you can just resize it the way you want. And it will remember the size. Okay, file search always overrides priority rules in KRunner. File search always overrides priority rules in KRunner. Wow, look at this interesting icon for the system settings. The file search plugin. So probably the affected user wants to see the applications first, right? F-search instead of file search. What is F-search? Okay, somebody found a Git commit that might be relevant to this issue. Ocular annotations in Android says that there's a tablet Xiaomi Hyper OS 1.0, which might be based on Android or not. And then somehow Ocular was installed there, but how? How would you install Ocular? So I'm searching on Google for Android Store Ocular, finds the correct page for the homepage for Ocular, doesn't find anything interesting in play.google.com/store. So I'm going to guess that there's no KDE application inside Google Play Store or Ocular. There's KDE Connect. There's Krita. And that's it. Okay, so some strange Android application was installed on this tablet. I'm not sure if this tablet is AMD 64 or ARM 64, but there's a version of Ocular that uses Kirigami for the graphical user interface, and that's installable on Android. And then further down, the user actually says that they're trying to use the nightly build for Android for Ocular that's using Kirigami. So yes, in the desktop version of Ocular that's using Qt widgets, there's annotation support, but maybe in the Android version of Ocular that's using Kirigami, there's no annotation support yet. There's no toolbar in there or a way to annotate PDFs. KDE look a lot more like Cinnamon. I don't change anything in KDE Plasma look-wise. I don't change the icon theme. I don't change the Qt widgets theme, the GTK theme, the nothing. I don't even change the font family. Whatever provided by my Linux operating system, which is Ubuntu 25.04, that's what I use. Heard of its acclaimed customization, but unsure of where or how to start. So the question is probably about a global KDE global theme with everything. KDE felt off for me. I don't like looking at it. I don't want to use stock KDE. Okay, I don't really understand people that want to immediately change KDE when they install it. But there are people that are using KDE Plasma because they're just forced. Like in this case, because Cinnamon doesn't support Wayland, because GNOME broke my extensions, because. So they're not people that have always used KDE Plasma. They're not devoted to KDE Plasma. They don't just prefer KDE Plasma because why would you prefer anything else? And then we need to provide support and make the three finger gestures be identical to their operating system and desktop environment, and etc. etc. Why does KDE Discuss not have a delete post button? Whenever you create a post in r/kde, you immediately get a automated auto moderator comment sticked and hidden, collapsed, which says that the KDE community would prefer that you use not user abusing outlets. So the alternative to Reddit is actually KDE Discuss, which is hosted by the KDE community, so discuss.kde.org. It's just that some people will use Reddit because they have a Reddit account, because even without having any KDE infrastructure, Reddit will still be around and still works correctly for them. So this is a way to channel a part of the users of r/kde towards KDE Discuss, which is a good thing to do. More and more people should create accounts in KDE Discuss and ask their user support question first in KDE Discuss, and if nobody answers in the first 4 hours, then yes, you can create a post on Reddit. So it's okay if you start with KDE Discuss first, asking your issue, and then if nothing happens, you also create a comment in a post in r/kde. Yes, and then if people will not create a KDE discuss account to ask their support issue, some of the people that have issues will actually not do the correct thing when reporting their issue, when raising their feature request, which is to actually do it in the correct place, which is this guy, bugs.kde.org. This is the place to report issues if your KDE software doesn't work perfectly. And this is the place to add feature requests. Hey, I want Ocular for Android to also have support for PDF annotations. This is the centralized website where the KDE community hosts these user-facing requests for bug fixes and feature requests. Okay, so this is it. You saw the types of posts which are most common inside r/KDE. If you have used KDE Plasma before and if you can self-support, then it would be a good idea to, from time to time, provide user support in ready.com/r/KDE. If you have an issue, it's a good idea to ask it here, even if you are going to fix your issue yourself, even if you can self-support, because this way a paper trace will be kept. So you are going to ask a question, figure out what the issue is, and then a number of hours later, you're going to reply to your own request saying, I did this, I was on this operating system, this is a screenshot, etc. And then that will help people in the future. And ready.com is very, very, is a central piece of the user-generated content. So it's central to AI chat tools such as ChatGPT and Google Search, etc. It's actual questions asked by humans and answers provided by real humans, and the answers are actually validated by real humans. So that's gold for the AI web crawlers. Okay, the sidebar is huge. The information that's provided in the rightmost column. Do read it if you want to post in here. Don't compare desktop environments and Linux operating systems. And we should try to improve the text that's available in here. You can proofread it and then ask for something to be changed, some strings to be changed. And I can also see very old content in here, so it might be a good idea to remove the very old content. I can see KDSRC, which is probably Qt5. So this thing should disappear. We're not actually using Qt5 any longer when using KDSRC-build or KDE Builder. That's a very, very advanced scenario using Qt5 nowadays. And this is probably the same thing. And this is probably the same thing. So all of this part is really, really old. There's information on how to get started programming, but then very few people start programming and go to ready.com/r/KDE. Extremely few posts are about I'm trying to start contributing to KDE, but I couldn't find the web page, the entry point. So I'm not sure having all sorts of learning resources available in the sidebar in r/KDE is valuable. Anyhow, providing Rust resources, Rust and Qt resources, that's a totally a stretch. Nobody reads r/KDE and wants Rust and Qt and actually goes after Rust and Qt and commits and invests time to implement something. And you cannot fix bugs because there's no software written in Rust plus Qt that's open source yet. Or in Qt Jambi for Java. Plenty of issues are about NVIDIA, so I totally would want the posts be marked with the label NVIDIA. NVIDIA blob. Plasma Wayland doesn't really work for me yet because I heavily depend on XRDP, the Remote Desktop Protocol server, which spawns an X11 server. So I know who this is, 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 who this is. So many people from the KDE community are actually part of the moderators list. So this is it. This is one resource for the KDE community developers and users. The Reddit r/KDE. You can ask user support issues, questions here if your KDE software doesn't work correctly for you, and you can provide a bit of help if you have the answer to user questions for support for KDE software. Some of the announcements that are available on planet.kde.org are also being provided in here in reddit.com/r/KDE. Thank you.